Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blend Forward Day 2. It's great to have you all here. Yesterday was all about mortgage. You got to see Tim talk about some of the things that we're building. You got to see some of your peers talk about how that industry is changing. But today's going to be all about consumer banking. When we started Blend, we were really focused on the mortgage industry because coming out of the last crisis, we saw an immense opportunity to help millions of consumers improve their financial lives. And that was very exciting. That was something that was meaningful to me as someone whose parents, their mortgage became the cornerstone of their retirement. But being able to do that at massive scale using technology was something that was very inspiring to me. And during that 8 years that we've been around, we have been a very customer focused company. So we've spent a lot of time with you. It's part of our DNA to spend a lot of time with you and listen to you. And one thing that you all have told us is that you're very customer focused. You're very consumer focused, which I think is a great alignment for us. But as part of that, one thing you've shared with us is that you don't want to just be there for these specific moments, just the homeownership journey, although it's a really important one. You want to be the center of your customers, your members' financial lives. You want to be there for their first credit card, their first checking account with their first job, their first car with their first car loan, their first home, their remodel, their retirement, their investments, everything along the way. But that's really hard to do. A lot of the capabilities that we built in mortgage are the same capabilities that you would need to do that, but doing that at scale across all product lines is a really, really difficult thing to pull off. And historically, all these things have been built product by product, but you think about your customer holistically. And today, that's what I'm really excited to talk to you about. We've been spending night and day figuring out how to unlock our platform to help you think about your customer holistically for the past year. And I'm super excited to unveil something that's going to help you do that today. But before I do that, I want to take you back 6 months. 6 months ago, COVID hit, and the government passed the CARES Act, which relied on many of you to help support consumers and small businesses through the financial stress that they were going through. Which, first of all, I think underscores the impact of this industry in a positive way, where you all are the cornerstone of helping consumers through tight financial situations. And that's something that I think is so inspiring to everybody who works at Blend and everyone I'm sure works for your companies as well. But when that happened, that gave you a week to react and offer those small businesses loans, offer those consumers the money they needed to get through their next paycheck. And there was an absolute scramble. There was going to be a huge demand for these loans. They were worried that businesses were going to overrun the banks and getting the loans. And that was going to be a major challenge. And one of our investors called me and said, Nima, you need to help here. And my response was, we've never done a small business loan before. How are we going to help? And he said, no, the platform's there. You can do decisioning, you can do workflow, you can do data aggregation, you do the omni-channel. Why don't you help them? And I decided that, the smart guy, decided to call a few of our close partners who we care deeply about and said, can we help here? And long story short, one of our close partners, M&T Bank, as an example, went live with PPP loans with us. We got that live with them in 72 hours, basically reconfiguring the core components of the same platform that you all are very familiar with to get that workflow up and running in 72 hours in omni-channel, fully integrated, pre-filling their existing customer data from their existing online banking for small businesses, and then driving all the way through the eligibility of those loans and then registration of the loans to the back office system. And they did that in 72 hours, and they did 10,000 applications in the first hour after that without a hitch. How did they do that? They didn't build everything from scratch, from the ground up, every single piece. A lot of the core components were there, and it was reconfigured to be able to support the things that they needed to serve their customers at that time. And I share that story because it's a microcosm of what's happening in financial services now. The pace of change is increasing, and what used to be a focus, digital transformation, is becoming table stakes, and now the real need is digital agility. How fast can we react to the things that are thrown our way? Whether it's we're going to be on defense and we're going to serve small businesses with PPP loans or consumers with loan modifications, or we're going to be on offense and we're going to create a new product for our customers or a point of sale loan for our customers because we have a new need in the market that we have to be able to compete with. And that's what consumers are starting to expect from other aspects of their lives. With Amazon and Instacart, they want that level of service from you as their financial institution that they're getting in the rest of their lives. But doing that across all your product lines is extremely difficult. And for us to build a platform that can work across all your product lines, which are different than all the product lines for the bank sitting next to you and the credit union sitting to the right of you, that is extremely difficult. You might have 50 product lines and they might have 50 product lines and they can be completely different from each other. So how do we unlock the platform in a way that allows it to truly still be a platform and not a bunch of customizations that'll slow you down and slow us down, but unlock that so you can serve your member and customer across their entire financial life? And I was racking my brain about this. How can we unlock our platform to support the sheer complexity of things that you need to serve your customer? What tipped me over the edge was I was watching a documentary about a game called Go. Go is a 4,000-year-old board game made in China that essentially has more combinations of moves than there are atoms in the universe, which is mind-boggling to think about. And it's so complex that it was historically considered that no computer would ever be able to beat the best humans at that game because there's just too many permutations of things that could happen. And the documentary I was watching was called AlphaGo, and it's about a computer called AlphaGo that was built by Google's DeepMind. And with all the advancements of AI and being able to collect all the data around all the games ever played and all the compute that was now available, AlphaGo 5 years ago for the first time ever beat world champion players at a game that people thought was never possible. And so while I was racking my brain trying to figure out how to support the 25,000 products that you all have, which is a hard problem, this hardest problem in the world was being solved. And so I was watching this and I was thinking, it's a good challenge. This was a challenge for us. And we said, I said, I think we can do this. And so we set out to do that. And now what I've been waiting all day to do, which is share the new things that we're building with you. Well, first of all, we're announcing personal loans and lines, we're announcing credit cards, and we're announcing specialty vehicles today, which means between those things and all the other product lines that we now have every single major product line that you need to serve your customer and member across their entire financial journey. And all that's built on a common set of capabilities around identity, income, assets, employment, approval, decisioning, signing, closing. All those things that you need to serve them are now common across all those products, which means for the first time ever, we can focus on what does the member need and not, or the consumer need, and what do I need to get this product line working? You may remember that last year we announced that we were offering a one-tap fully approved mortgage approval. And the idea was a consumer shows up using the existing data you have plus third-party data, we're going to get them an answer of what you can do for them in real time in one tap. And that's really important because that's the modern experience that consumers are expecting. And I'm happy to announce that same experience is the foundation for this launch, which means that now your customer or your member can show up and you can show them across all your product lines exactly what you can do for them using those common capabilities in one tap. And that's the way that Blend sees the world evolving. That's the way your customers are expecting you to be able to serve them. And this is the baseline of what we're able to do. Here's a manifestation of that. Your customer shows up with a need for $50,000. And for the first time ever, because all the data, all the decisions across all the product lines and all the channels are connected into one system, you can serve your customer in a customer-centric way and show them everything you can do for them in one tap, fully approved. That's magical. That's the kind of experience that I want as a consumer. But let's take that one step further. Let's say the needs change or a new product line is required. We talked about digital agility earlier. How will we help serve that? That's the thing that I've been thinking a lot about, is unlocking this platform to give you the flexibility to serve your customer. And now I want to show you how that works. And this is where the power of the platform becomes magical, because all the capabilities for almost every product line you want to do have been built before, but they haven't been unlocked for you. So imagine now we want to add a new need for your customer, and we want to solve the need around a renovation. And maybe we want to add a new product line to support that around home equity. So we can go in and, without writing a single line of code, reuse the existing components, add a renovation need to the flow, see the changes of that in real time. But that's not enough. Now we want to add a new product to support that. And that could have been an existing product that maybe somebody like Blend or you has contemplated already, or it could be a brand new product that you build the entire end-to-end flow from scratch. And we're going to add a home equity product here, where now your customer, as they're going through the flow, they're not presented with just the two options for the $50,000, but they're presented a third option around a home equity line of credit. And those are the kind of experiences that we want to help you create for your customers, to be able to keep up with every demand that your customer base needs. And not just the workflow and not just the decisioning, But something you've asked about for years, the entire branding, the underwriting criteria, what data sources you collect, completely configurable. You've been asking that for a long time. We've now unlocked all of that and put that in one place so that you can, without writing any code, serve your customer needs as they change over time in a dynamic way. So in closing, if you take nothing else away from this conference today, I hope you can see that technology is getting so advanced that it can completely get out of our way. We can focus all our energy on the consumer, how to best serve them new products and services that enable their financial future, and helping those consumers advance financially is good for you, it's good for them, it's good for the entire economy, and that's something that's very exciting. And I feel like we're in a very important point in history where this is now just becoming possible, and it's something that we should cherish and really take advantage of. What we're doing is just the beginning. I think a lot more is going to change. This is a platform that we plan on investing in for years and years and years to come, just like we did with the mortgage product. It's going to become a cornerstone offering. And as the world continues to evolve and change, we'll continue to bake in additional things that allow you to serve your member and customer better and better over time. And so that's what I'm very excited about. We're going to show you a lot more detail around this today with the product teams, with some of our customers on stage. And so thank you for coming to the conference. Stick around for some of the more detailed sessions, and we appreciate you as a partner.